Hey, Marcy.
Hey, Peggy.
How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
So good.
Awesome. All right. Well, we have a fun topic today.
Yeah, we are talking retirement. So we hit on this in our episode on empty nesting and identity and all of that. We talked a bit about retirement, but we wanted to just take a little bit of a mini deep dive into some pretty alarming information we've learned about retiring. So I'm going to share that with you now, and then we're going to go deep. People who retire at 55 are almost twice as likely to die within 10 years as people who retire at 65.
Which is like so crazy and disturbing.
And it's not because retirement kills you, but it's because you're losing your purpose does. So you get lethargic, you get depression, you don't leave your home, you get inactive. And so you're losing your structure and the reason to get out of bed on Monday morning and the reason to get dressed up. And we're not telling you to retire. What we're telling you is to refire.
Like ignite that passion within. And I feel like a lot of times in the US, our identity is so intertwined with our careers. And so when that is suddenly gone, I think there is that like, who am I? It's so funny because that question of like, so what do you do is so American.
I mean, it's terrifying when you have to answer the question, so what do you do? And you're coming up blank
Yeah.
and you think the other person is judging you. And I'll tell you a little secret from somebody who's been retired since she was 50 and is now 54. I love that question because when people squirm, when I say, you're looking at it, this is what I do, whatever the hell I want. I'm telling you, the person who's asking that question would probably do it if they could.
Right. That's a good point.
But we think they're judging us. They're not judging us. They're just wondering, how the hell did she pull that off?
And I want the listener today that this is like really striking a chord with, like, don't think like retirement's going to be the end of life. It's this like dramatic thing. It's actually a chance to reignite, reinvent, get
Refire it
excited.
up.
Yes, yes. That is like the best. It's your second life, you know?
I mean, it's really, I think, I don't know about you, Marcy, but when I was little and I thought about retirement, to me, if somebody was retiring, they were like going to die soon. Like it was good. Like, oh, okay, well, then what are you going to do for like the next 10 years of your life? But longevity is on our side now, guys. Modern medicine has
True,
made this a whole new game.
true.
And we are so fortunate that we've worked so hard for the last couple decades of our lives building somebody else's dream. And now we get to build our own. We have that opportunity. We get that opportunity
Right.
to go make whatever this crazy dream we have in our head come true.
Right. And I think often freedom without intention feels empty, but that same freedom space with vision, that feels powerful.
Yeah. And the last thing I want for anyone I love when they retire to do is just sit around in their pajamas all day,
Mhm.
waiting for the day to end, waiting for their show to come on,
Mhm. Right.
and maybe talking to somebody on the phone if they're lucky. Find anything.
Yeah, passion, purpose. Yes,
It doesn't even
absolutely.
have to, like, you don't have to define it right away. Try on different things. Do I like
Right.
this or do I like that? Do I just want to go to the library and walk around and find out what happens? And
Yeah.
then you find out, oh, there's this community thing posted. I didn't even know that existed. I've been too busy working to even know
Right.
there was this whole life that goes on during the week that
Yes.
I didn't even realize was out there because I was in tunnel vision and only giving myself Sunday to appreciate life.
Right.
Now I've got 7 days, and actually,
Yes.
there are fun things that happen on other days of the week.
Yeah.
I didn't even know those were an option to me.
Right. And I think having purpose and like somewhat of a set healthy schedule, it's great for both mental health, but also physical health, giving you a reason to get out. One of my clients, when she retired, she lost 20 pounds like that. Like she had driven a lot for work. She was in sales and would visit customers. It was before 2020. So before the COVID, all the businesses were able to go online. but she just like leaped into a very, very healthy, and it was just amazing. It just melted off because she had the time to put the workout in, to do the food thing, and it looks great on her.
Yeah, I mean, I lost 175 pounds after I retired. I didn't
Wow.
lose it before I retired. I lost
Yeah.
it after I retired. But I had all that energy
Yeah.
I put into somebody else's dream. My dream didn't have to be financial.
Right.
My dream could have been, I am going to fix my relationship with my body. And
Yes.
that's where I put my energy. All that energy I put into somebody else's dream, I put into my own. And I realized that dream. And then I started to dream a new dream.
Right.
And I started to put the energy in that.
Yes. Yeah.
And now I'm doing this podcast. And a lot of my energy goes into this.
Right.
And everybody's like, aren't you going to burn out? I'm like, I worked 40, 50, 60 hours a week. Are you kidding me? This is nothing.
So a couple common thoughts that people are choosing to think, because thoughts are choices, and I think it's like creating blocks, are things like, 1, I'm too old. 2, it's too late to start something new. 3, fear of looking inexperienced again, like being a beginner at something again. And 4, waiting for motivation to hit you instead of creating it and chasing it. So those are 4 things, like really be on to yourself. If any of those feel true or you feel like you're coming from that place, all optional. All you can shift that thought in an instant.
And I just want to challenge you if you find yourself getting close to this point. We all know at some point, hopefully, we're going to retire.
Yes, hopefully.
This is not sneaking up on you. So start putting in some things now to prepare for that. Maybe you've always wanted to do yoga. And so you join a yoga studio and you start to go Saturday mornings. And then you start to get familiar with, well, what's the schedule like during the week?
Mm-hmm.
And you start to realize who the instructors are that you like. And you start to realize, I can go to their class on Tuesday at 10 a.m.
Right.
I can do that class I could never
Right.
make before.
Yeah.
And so start to look forward to that time that's coming
Yes.
instead of dreading it and worrying about how am I going to fill my days. And also, I'm going to caution you, don't fill them too quickly. Like
That's
try on
good.
a lot of different things and then decide where you want your energy to go.
I love that. Like give it some space, some pause.
Yeah.
Like relaxation's okay too, to a point. But if you feel like it's dwindling your energy because you're isolating too much, that's when you really need to be on to yourself.
Also, this is going to be an unpopular opinion. Get up and get dressed every day. Do not stay in your pajamas until noon. Now, I do have pajama days, but I have pajama days when I worked too. I love a good pajama day. If it's raining outside, don't put clothes on me. I don't want it. I'm not here for that. But most days, whether I am leaving my house or not,
Wow, you get dressed.
I put on makeup. I do my hair.
Wow.
I could leave my house most days at any point, whether I do or not. It's always optional for me because I look ready. And when you get yourself ready, you show up differently. You do. The whole day shifts when you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I, work in a salon several days a week, and those days I totally get ready. Sometimes on the other days, I'm like yoga pants, sports bra, t-shirt, whatever. 1, I've obviously worked out, but 2, I'm like running errands and stuff.
But you're still dressed. You're
Yeah,
still
I'm not in my
able to leave your
pajamas. Yeah.
home.
And I think it would be really good to have like a list of 3 to 5 things that like excite you, ignite you. It might be a class you take. It might be a book you're reading. It might be a get together with a friend that really pours into you. But like have your little list. And again, it doesn't have to be every single day, but just kind of to get the ball rolling for your interests and your hobbies. And there's such a huge list. Both my parents are retired. My mom does square dancing. She is a member of German club. She did German classes, like the language. Also, she did a German choir where they sang in German. Is she German? No, she is not. I mean, she just like would have these interesting, she did ballroom dancing on Friday nights. So my point is like, don't limit yourself. If you don't play pickleball, that's okay. There's so many activities. There's so many ways to go with it.
Well, and this is a really good point because you're so used right now to a lot of your social network being the people that you have been shoulder to shoulder with in your career, in your workforce. A lot of those people are your work family. They're your friends. You spent more
Yeah.
time with them than you do with your own family.
True.
And now you're like, out of sight, out of mind. There is going to be some of that. You're going to have to work to maintain those connections, and it's not going to be as easy.
Yes. And passion actually grows from action. It's not from thought.
Yeah.
So once again, like last night I watercolored a lobster. Not a live one. It was on a piece of paper. But I just want to say, like, you can just do something and that will create the passion.
And it doesn't have to be forever. I did diamond art. I watercolor. I've like dabbled in all kinds of different things.
There's so many things you could possibly do, but sitting around thinking about it and not putting momentum behind it, that is a mistake.
You're going to stay stuck.
Yes.
And it is going to be much harder to get moving if you start out not moving.
Right. And I think part of starting to move for me personally, giving your space, like giving yourself space that it's okay to fail or not finish something. Like part of trying new things, sometimes we hit like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And then other times we're like, oh, actually, this isn't for me. I want to just like, ugh, no, thank you.
And it's okay to be a beginner. We've talked about this in other episodes. It's okay to not know the answers.
Right.
It's okay to come in and just be like, I might mess this whole thing up.
Right.
Who cares?
Yep, totally. And you just never know what beautiful connection it will make. Like someone I know that just retired has been doing volunteer work, and then they came down with an illness. So they said, I'm going to need 5 weeks off for treatments. And then they just received a letter in the mail from the organization they were doing volunteer work with. And they said, thank you for your steadfast volunteer work. We will be praying for you as you handle this medical issue. They gave them a gift card to like one of those Uber Eats or something. And they said, have dinner on us sometime.
Mm-hmm.
And just the fact that they made that connection and now somebody's praying for them and now somebody's like seeing them and thinking of them. It's like that same constant that you had with your coworkers, but because you're giving back in a different way, you now have a different like friend, if you will.
Yeah. Retirement isn't the end of the sentence. It's just a
Yes.
comma.
Yeah.
And now you're moving on to something new, right? And you get to choose what that is. You get to decide where all of that's going to go.
That's right.
And it could be volunteering, and it could be starting a new business, and it could be traveling, and it could be reconnecting with your spouse or taking care of an aging parent.
Yeah.
And now you have the opportunity to do that and still have time for yourself. There are so many things that can come out of it, but I can guarantee you the only way you are not going to benefit from this is if you are inactive, if you are sitting at home waiting to die.
Yeah. If you're scrolling, if you're watching too much television, if you're isolating too much, all of those, like, it's the classic. You don't use it, you lose it. That includes your brain. That includes your body.
Your
that
mobility.
Includes, yes, all of it. It's really, you owe it to yourself to not throw in the towel.
Or be depressed, because guess what? Your identity for a long time was whatever this job title was. Who are you? Oh, I'm an insurance broker. Oh, I'm a retail buyer.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the vice president of this or that. No, I'm not. And you're about to find that out. You're about to find out when you can't answer the question, who are you? With those answers, you get to discover who you really are. And that is a gift.
Yeah, that is a gift. And the world needs what you have to put out there.
You've got this time for a reason.
That's right.
You've been gifted this time for a reason. Don't waste it.
That's right. I totally agree.
All right, you've got this.
You've so got this.
All right, that's our shift for today.
Go live, laugh, and do one bold thing before the next episode drops.
Follow us at No More BullShift and keep the conversation going.
Because if you can't laugh about it,
You probably still need to shift it.